All right, let's get started, everybody, and welcome. We're around mid-November now, and just a lot of awesome stuff going. We actually have a promotion going on too for our leads, and we got awesome events prepared for you. So welcome. Now, this event is brought to you by Real Estate IQ, our host organization, and our flagship product is our off-market leads, right? This is where you can access the freshest data that have been mined in public records and courthouses for motivated sellers. And we have seen a lot of clients having tons of success with it. And we're going to feature a couple of success cases here on the show as well. So stay tuned on that. Now, along with that, we also now have launched a deals program and a funding program. So anybody that is actively doing deals, or if you're looking for deals, there's actually a deal that we're going to present here. And if you're looking for funding as well, that's something we can help you on. So all of these programs are created for the fact that as investors, that's what we need to grow our business. So tons of success stories. Brian made $10,000 on his first deal, and he has since then joined our accelerator program. Chris, best off-market lead, and being able to kind of consistently market to the leads. I see having access to leads where we can consistently do marketing outreach of is actually extremely crucial for the starting point of your business. You gotta have deals to have a business. And so a lot of our clients also resonate with that. Consistent, reliable data is crucial, right? So lots of successful clients. A disclaimer, everything we present here is for educational purposes only, and we don't offer investment, financial, or legal advice. So we'll be starting, and every Friday we have a map event where we talk about the actual deals and how to execute on the deals. So you might want to join us and work with us on doing consistent outreach, right? Just talking about being able to execute and have that consistency is very important. And of course, if you need help closing a deal, you got a lead, you can send it to us. We will, with your permission, we'll also feature it here too. And John has an idea that he shared with me yesterday, which is if you have a deal, we would actually go and see the house and do the due diligence for you. So we can take photos or whatever you need. I thought that's a fantastic idea. We'll probably test some of that on our current leads as well. Okay, our speakers. Okay, the agenda we have is we'll spend 5 minutes on introduction. We're gonna skip the market update today because we actually have quite a bit of case studies, and then we'll turn the mic to John, where he's gonna talk about his topic on how we can build wealth as entrepreneurs. And if you have deals, you can pitch it then, and then we'll close with upcoming events. So a couple of deals update. I'm gonna invite Tamla here.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Long time no talk. We were just talking about some deals late last night.
Yes, very late.
And Tamla got a couple of updates on the Brazzo Street property.
Doesn't that yellow look good? We were hoping to have Brazos Street finished by today, but I actually went and purchased the countertop late yesterday afternoon. So they are putting it in today. The contractors are putting it in today. As you can see, this is our new kitchen going in. I think last week we had just the cabinets in, but now we have it painted. We have the beadboard backsplash put in. We have the property painted, the cabinets painted, the doors and the trims painted. And we have the new tankless water heater put in. As you can see there in the wall, there is a door going over that, a little cabinet door going over that. And we have the new flooring put in the bathroom. If anybody can remember, the bathroom was plywood flooring. And you do not want to step out on wood repeatedly coming out of the shower, or you don't want water getting on the floor because eventually it's going to rot out. So we did put the vinyl stick-on tiles in the bathroom, and the countertop is very similar to the flooring. It's the Carrera marble look. It is a Formica countertop. And then this little apartment will be ready to rent. The appliances will be ordered on Monday, and we are putting an apartment size range in, which is 20 inches. And we are also putting a small apartment size refrigerator in, which is actually a freezer above the refrigerator. It's approximately 24 inches wide and 27 inches deep, but it does have adequate space for a small 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. So it's not your little, what I call counter height apartment size refrigerator. It's actually a full-size refrigerator. It's just not the 36-inch wide refrigerator. So be adequate refrigerator space for someone living in a small apartment. This little apartment has really, it's amazing, the transformation that I've seen in this. And I am hoping that by next Thursday, I will be able to do a video of the entire apartment. I think everyone will be amazed at where we started, which was gray walls, white. I think it did have white trim, and we brightened that trim up. No doors. A little bitty dark space that had plumbing in it and electrical in it for a kitchen or a laundry room, whatever we wanted to make of it. And we have really brightened this space up, turned it into something really, really cute. And I think anyone would be really, really happy to live there. It's got a nice size yard. We are putting heat and cool mini split in this unit. It's just precious.
Yes, you're really happy with it, Tamara, I can tell. And did you take photos of the before by any chance?
I was looking, and I'm still looking through my photos because I take a tremendous amount of photos to find before photos. I will find something that will show you the before and the after.
And because by the time I saw it last week, was it last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, it has already been transformed, right? The yard was already done and everything. What shocked me was the huge bedroom. It has a huge bedroom, so the tenant's gonna be very happy with the bedroom size. And then I have
has
never
a
seen
huge closet also.
Yeah, it does. And I've never seen a water heater, a tankless water heater this size. So that's really cute.
And it works wonderfully. I mean, hot water is there like that.
Yeah, and it takes up very little space too.
Very little. We're talking maybe 12 inches, 13 inches wide, and maybe 14 inches tall. I think that's the opening that we've cut in the wall there. And like I said, I'm really happy with the yellow. The apartment was painted, I'm going to call it an industrial gray. The floor, the walls, everything was painted in industrial gray. The only exception was the trim had been white, I believe. it was very, it had a very cold feeling, industrial feeling when you walked into it. We did not repaint the walls. There's still that industrial gray, but the yellow from the cabinets, and as you can see, we painted one wall there since we cut that wall to put the heater in. The yellow has really softened up the gray walls, and it feels warmer. It feels more inviting. Breaking up the floor a little bit, like we did with the bathroom tile, is it's just a much more inviting, warmer feeling. We are leaving the remainder of the apartment has concrete floors, and we are leaving those painted the gray color. But the yellow and the bright white have really transformed this place, and putting the white beadboard paneling, and that is an option that is very inexpensive, but it gives it a very expensive, much more pleasant, warmer look. And like I said, it is very inexpensive to put that up. It's really turning this place around and making it a much more inviting, warm atmosphere to live in.
Yeah, it's a lot brighter because of the paint. And I think from a cash flow wise, it's gonna add a good trying to do math in my head now. A good like 60% of the existing rent. Like if we just had the existing tenant.
Yes.
Now that we're gonna add another $900 ish.
Yes, that is what our property manager is going to be listing this for. But remember, in that $900, we do pay the water and the sewer and the trash pickup, and also we take care of the yard. So the 900, and I believe she's asking $900 to $950 for it. She's going to be coming out and taking another look at it as soon as it's completely and totally finished, which by tomorrow afternoon, it should be completely and totally finished.
Cool. Exciting. And the next step is we're talking about potential refinancing.
Yes.
With this.
Yes. This is a property, if y'all remember, this is a property that we were able to get owner financing on, which was a great opportunity because it's not as expensive to get into a property when you purchase it with owner financing. But the interest rate in a lot of cases will be a little higher. So what we're going to do is we're going to evaluate whether we should leave it in the owner financing for now, or how much money will it save us monthly if we refinance it into a lower interest rate.
Cool. Thanks for the update. And then here we have another update. Is our Garland house. This was the one that we were talking into and communicating into late last night.
Yes.
Pamela, maybe you start first, and then I'll talk.
Well, actually, Steve sent me the information on this house with the, what do you think about this? And I looked it over. I pulled comps. I'm like, I like the deal. I like the location. The area, the location that this house is in is a very unique area. It does not have a lot of houses. It's a gated area. Not many homes there. All very large homes, custom built homes. What I noticed while I was pulling comps is that homes in this area, if they're ready to go, meaning if they're updated, everything looks nice with them. And it is a very nice area. Landscaping is wonderful. said, it's a gated area. These homes do not stay on the market very long. We're talking in the upper price range, but they are not staying on the market very long. And I've got a helper here, as y'all can see. And so this was very interesting to me in the fact that they didn't stay on the market very long, and a lot of these homes sell for cash. So that's a positive, very plus positive in where I'm sitting. And the numbers worked great. We are going to have our contractor go out. We're making arrangements so that he can get out there and take a look. It does have some problems with the balcony that we're going to have to look at. We may have to rebuild the balcony. So that may be, we've got to add that in, but we have calculated enough for the repairs that I don't think we'll have an issue with that. I think Steve, you did a great job finding this property and getting it under contract.
And I want to say that Real Estate IQ did a great job with finding this information. So this is actually one of the pilot marketing projects that we launched. And I keep hearing emails don't work. And this one actually came from the email. The phone number was incorrect, because he ended up calling me from a different phone number, the homeowner. So I kind of made it something, and he was not responsive on the phone number that we were trying to reach out at. And so that makes me, feel really good that, okay, another channel, being able to reach the person, just in case the phone number doesn't work. Okay, we got an email to reach out to them. And I could tell because he started calling me on an email on the phone number. The phone number where I received his call from is from the emails that I sent out. So I was able to kind of track that. And this house was in pre-foreclosure, and really solid built house. So we made an appointment, saw the house, and it's been since August. So it's been quite a few months, kind of in the both relationship building and also just kind of letting how the event naturally play out. So I saw the house, met the owner and their family, great family, really nice people. And if you see kind of the driveway here and the kind of structure on top, so the house is kind of connected through this. And on top of this driveway, I think that's where the maid's quarter is. I was like, oh, wow, they have maid's quarters. So it was quite interesting. And the house has an 8-car garage, everything. So a really interesting property. We think the number may work out quite well. I think the ARV at $2 million, I think is, I would kind of try to validate that. I see some comps supporting that. But yeah, it's even at this price, it still looks really good. So we're looking at a good 40% discount.
Yeah, and I actually think this house will comp out a little more than 2.
Yeah.
I just think that it will. The comps that I pull show that it's comping out a little over 2. So
I think Tamla's gonna go see the house. John may go see too. See the property and kind of put your eyes on it. You can kind of see the layout of the house and everything. It'll give you more a better feel of the house. But yeah, it's a really nicely, solidly well built property. Okay, we got upcoming deals. So if you're interested in the deal that we just shared with you, reach out to me. And if you want to get in our program and stay on top of our upcoming deals, you can also reach out to me and us. So speaking of our programs, for new investors, we have a deal accelerator program, and very, very limited spots. We want to really maintain our quality of connection and making sure you're successful. And so we only have 2 spots available, and the design of this program is geared towards somebody. Ideally, if you already have gone through, say, a coaching program, and you want more of that one-on-one, hands-on support until you can get your first deal, couple of deals to get your feet wet, this would be an ideal program for you. Now, if you're completely new and you want to get started, we can still talk, and perhaps we can figure out something that also works for you. But kind of, if you look at this, we offer you the training, right, all the way to finding, analyzing, and making the deal. And in addition to that, there is the famous Real Estate IQ off-market motivate seller leads, so you can actually use the lead to do your outreach and marketing. And then when you get the deal under contract, we can walk you through the funding too, so you can kind of go through the entire cycle of the deals process. So that's very exciting. We already got a lot of track record. All right, now for those that are new to Real Estate IQ, for example, and you have not used the off-market leads, well, this is a really good chance. We have a fantastic promotion here for you. In addition to that, we also have fix and flip workshop, which is the training, recording training, and that's $500 in value. And so we are really want to give value to the market and train up our kind of next wave of deal makers. So scan this QR code to secure your spot, and we would love to talk to you and get to know you. Okay, here's the QR code again. Now, this is the time where we encourage you to share your leads and what deals that you were able to find or what leads you're able to look at. And remember, the formula is ARV 70% of the after repair value minus repair closing cost and holding cost. So if you don't know how to kind of analyze the deal, but you got a lead, you can send it to us, and we will help you do the due diligence and help you analyze it. Now, for today, I actually found 2 leads, Tamla, that we can look at. So here is one. This is in Fort Worth. I just got the now the lead source, right? So this is a appointment of substitute trustee lead, and for those who are not familiar, the appointment of substitute trustee is basically a signal that that tells us the house is about to go into foreclosure. So we call it the pre-foreclosure. And the reason we want to kind of look into this type of leads is because of the basically the foreclosure process, where in many cases, before a house goes into foreclosure, they will appoint a local trustee to start that foreclosure process. So if we can reach out to these folks, and they are already thinking about selling, they're in some kind of situation, this would be a really awesome lead source. And that's one of the lead types that Real Estate IQ offers. And I think about a week ago, the owner responded back to me, reached out to me, and basically said he owes quite a bit, and he was actually thinking that all the offers are too low. All the offers that he has received were too low, and it doesn't cover what he owes. And on top of that, he has rented the house. He moved to California for school and rented the house to his friends, and they have stopped paying rent, and now they have become squatters. So some of the information here. So Tamla, what are your thoughts after you digest this info?
Well, the first thing I see is that we've got an absolutely wonderful interest rate there. So if you can do it subject to, that would be an absolutely wonderful thing. The reinstatement is not really that much either. Renting, does this person actually have a lease with the tenants?
That's a good question. I didn't ask that.
If we have an actual lease, we can start eviction process. And you can start eviction process with squatters or with tenants. It's just if you got a paper trail, that's something easier to work with. The state of Texas does not like squatters, so the law is on the owner's side.
Mhm.
Is this in Fort Worth, somewhere in the Fort Worth area, or the what county is this in? Do you
Yeah,
know?
it's I think it's north of Fort Worth.
Okay. I'm not sure how long it would actually take to get into court, to get into the JP court, but I am thinking that legally you could probably have these people out from start to finish within 2 months.
2 months.
Probably take 30, I'm going to say 2 weeks to 4 weeks to get into the JP court to get the eviction. And then more than likely they would have 7 to 14 days to move out. The judge would probably give them that long. If they do not move out, of course, then you would have to contact the sheriff's department and have them forcibly removed, which here again, the law in the state of Texas is on the owner's side.
Mm-hmm.
So you would probably, I'm going to say 2 months from start to finish to evict them.
And then I have, thank you. And I have this question on the reinstatement amount. Is it possible to do a loan mod and move it to the end instead of needing to kind of pay it upfront? Is there
There is a possibility of a loan modification. To get a loan modification, the needs to be started on now because it looks like they've already filed for foreclosure. This must be a pre-foreclosure. Lenders have a specific time that they will agree to a loan modification or to start working on a loan modification before the foreclosure. Each one is different. Some will look at a loan modification the day before a foreclosure, and others want 30 days before a foreclosure. So the best thing to do would be to start working on that now and to see what and to constantly stay in touch with the lender. As I've always stated, and Steve, I know you've heard me more than once say this, when it comes to the lenders, the left hand does not know what the right hand is doing. So you're going to be dealing with two different departments. You're going to be dealing with the department over here that is foreclosing on the property, and you're going to be dealing with the department on the other hand that is doing the loan modification. So it is very good to get started early to make sure everything is in writing from the lender. You can take all the notes that you want to, but if you do not have anything in writing from the lender, the right hand may foreclose on it while the left hand is working on a loan modification. So it's very, very important to always make sure that you have everything in writing from the lender, that you get all the documents turned in, and that you have confirmation that they have received those documents. Then you have them transfer you to the department that handles the loan modification to make sure, the foreclosure, to make sure that they also know that you're working on a loan modification. In some cases, they will not transfer you. They will tell you that they are handling it and they are making sure that everything is going through. Here again, make sure everything is in writing.
Thank you. Awesome. He's actually calling me right now. I will call him back right after this. All right, and then the other one is lead in Dallas. I think I got the wrong picture here. So excuse me. I will update the photos next time for the documentation of the slide. This house is in foreclosure, in pre-foreclosure, and the owner at the time when I reached out, this is also an August type of lead, so it has taken about 3 months of just talking and nurturing and continually building a relationship and giving them value and follow up. So this house is 277 ARV, and they owe 198.
I see a note here that says owner did loan modification to stop foreclosure, waiting on mortgage information. Okay. Has he been approved or has she been approved for the loan modification on this property?
My understanding is that she did, yeah, and it's no longer in foreclosure.
Okay, great. So she should be getting papers with her new payment, the new terms of the loan any day now. And she will have so many days to sign those papers and send those back to the lender. And that's when she gets those, she'll know more what her payment will be. She should probably already know what the terms are, because they probably already talked to her a little bit about that.
Yeah, and I vaguely remember, I think after talking to these leads, when I don't take down the notes, I start to lose track. I think after the loan mod, the interest rate may have gone up to like maybe it's 6%. Again, my memory could be jumbled.
Right.
Let's just assume if it's a 6%, and it probably has a pretty high monthly payment. Do you see this as a deal?
Depending upon, are we talking subject to here and keeping the original loan in place?
I think if we can do a subject to, this is what I'm thinking. The only way we can potentially make it a deal is if we take it over subject to, and then see if we can make it turn into a flip.
Correct. It's going to depend upon what the owner is wanting as a down payment or as cash out.
She's ready. She's ready to.
She's ready at getting getting a subject to an existing loan with an interest rate at 6% for rental property is a very good interest rate. The question that I have would be, what are we putting down? How much are we giving the owner for the property to take over the mortgage? At that point, you have to pull the comps to see if you're overpaying for the house. And it's a judgment call. At that point, it's a judgment call. I think you have to know the area very, very well, know what you are expecting to happen in the area. And here again, as I've said previously, that when you're looking for properties, you really need to know the area, especially when you're doing something like this. You've got the ARV as 277. You're taking over a loan of 198. If the owner is wanting a tremendous amount of money down, pull the comps for what you think you could sell the house for, compare, and with the work that needs to be done, you work the numbers with these exactly like you work the numbers with any other property that you're buying, and make sure the numbers work. You can go a little one way and a little other way because you're probably going to have as much closing cost involved in this. This will be easier to close on, but you also don't want to pay more for a house just because it's easier to get into it than you expect, than what you kind of expect seeing happening in that neighborhood, that area. Is the area going down or is the area going up? So that's what you have to look at. Bring me the information, Steve. When you get all of the information together, bring me the information. We'll look at it. We'll evaluate it together, and we'll make a decision from there.
Cool. Thank you. All right, so we'll stay tuned on this one. All right, thank you, Tamla. And on our next segment, we have Mr. John Huang here, my business partner. How are you? Are you at Regis? We're gonna meet up soon. So John's gonna give us a really awesome topic, kind of continue with our talk on everything we need to know on how we can build wealth and leave a legacy. And John, I've been talking to a couple of folks on the buy, borrow, and die concept, and they all love it, and they didn't know it.
Yeah.
So they really appreciate that.
That's right. And I also, at the meantime, highly suggest that, when you come down to pre-foreclosure, each family's situation is completely different. You may want to have a second opinion. I mean, you can talk about the real estate only. That's going to help your business. But coming down to like a win-win situation, you may want to get financial assessment of the individual, of the family. And you may be surprised. There is some, easy fix to their money problem that can get them out of the long-term trouble, and also turn that person into a partner in the future. So what I'm going to share today is how do you conduct a financial health checkup? You can use this tool for your own purposes, for your own family planning, right? Business planning, or you can use it for the potential client. And I've done this in the past whereby we have a pre-foreclosure, well, not a pre-foreclosure, but it's more bankruptcy situation, right? All the assets will be surrendered. And of course, for businessmen, that's a good opportunity. Just, take their properties and turn around and sell them. But, as we get into spirituality, that's not a blessing to everyone, right? So we would like that to be a opportunity to bless some individual so that we all win together. So essentially we use the tool to help the family identify some of the credit problems. And, one of the families we helped not only get out of their debts, also, we didn't debunk their dream of getting rich through real estate overnight. We didn't. We actually helped them acquire properties. So while they rebuild their credit and then fix their debt problem, I've got quite a few cases like that, right? So I'm going to show you how to use this tool for helping yourself, and in the meantime, help maybe potential clients and partners, okay, or targets. All right. So this is what I call it, a financial health checkup questionnaire. And there are in total 7 sections that we need to fill out in order to gain a holistic view of this family's situation. Okay. Let me pause just for a second. Okay. Stephen and I talking about, there are families, remember, when you want to talk to the seller, you want to, build a relationship, you want, offer value. Well, one of the values is to get them out of the financial crisis you can offer. It doesn't have to be you. I hope you understand that, because we're all partners, right? You may not have all the financial licenses or whatever to speak legitimately about a tax reduction, tax debt, and all that. But you can leverage the financial advisors to do that. In our network, we have a bunch of them, and they're partners with us, okay? So once we fix the problem, some areas in the property owner's finance, you already strengthened that relationship, okay? So we always say that a money problem is never a one problem. Like me, myself, I'm a spiritual director as well. I help people to fix their spirituality, you know, fill their holes, right? So whatever value we can add to the deal is always more solid than just send a cookie over, bake something, ask your wife to bake something and send it over to their door, give them a gift cards, all that. Nah, those are everybody does it. Okay, what I'm going to show you is nobody does it. Okay, in the real estate play, because they don't have the knowledge and the tools, right? And besides, they don't have a partners like myself, right? And in my network that have the license to speak legitimately and solidly, proven successfully, and without charging a fee, without charging anything to fix their problem. Okay, so with that said, let's get into this tool. It's fairly simple, right? So starting off is the first part, which is the biographical information and bio info. And a lot of people say, oh, this is, no big deal. No, it's a big deal. Okay? It's a big deal. When someone is comfortable to put their full names down here, plus their age or date of birth, there is a trust. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? And I'm going to come back to this part. Okay, there is a technique of how to walk this through without creating too much of a, kind of an emotional draw or, a bad feeling, bad emotion in the individual. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So this part, if they don't want to fill out their date of birth, that's fine because you don't have the trust yet. But once you walk through these 7 steps, I guarantee you that we will want to come back and get your phone number, give you the phone number, and talk more about it. Okay, so the income part is a little bit kind of a tricky. When you don't have the relationship, they don't want to fill this out. They don't want to tell you, well, the symptom is they don't want to tell you how much they make. And if you are a little bit acquainted with that individual, that person may say, I don't want to tell you my wife's income or my husband's income. I just don't feel comfortable. Still, see, as you can see, this questionnaire is not only a tool, but also a thermometer to test your relationship with the family. Again, as me, when I work with, when Steven and I, we work on the deals and other partners, we work on the real estate deals, I come in as a financial advisor. I don't come in as a real estate, broker or agent, right? I don't. I go there, I only take care of the finance side. And where my partner, like Steve, right, and they're going to take care of only talk about real estate. Okay, so we kind of build a triangle to help this family. You know what I'm saying? So my job is to build a relationship, right? Build a relationship with the property owner, with the owner between Steve, myself, and the owner. Okay, that's the goal. And we will also want to solve a problem. That's for real. That's not for fake. And we filled out the income is usually a little bit tough in the beginning. Okay, skip it. Feel free to skip it. Okay, just let them to give a ballpark. If it is for yourself to use, you really would want to fill this out. Okay, as much detail as possible. Now, and of course, you may lack of some of the financial knowledges to know that all the aspects of what a deduction is. So put a footnote here, right? Deduction, that could be business deduction. It could be a, health deduction like HSA. Could be a RA contribution deductions and all that stuff, right? You just deduct them. Medical expenses, this is to reveal their distress level. Okay, and interesting enough, and others that could be supporting, alimony money, supporting a, disabled family members. All these are expressing and exposing their distresses. Then monthly expenses, those are very straightforward, and you can ballparkly estimate. And I'm going to teach you, right? Rent in the market right now, as we speak. The market is on average doing okay. Okay, so you can guess between one bedroom up to 3 bedroom, how much that is. Okay, you can guess that. And then the phone number, internet, all that. Car insurance is a big chunk. Okay, and this is where a lot of a cash flow gets sucked in, right? Especially they have a college or high school driver. That's usually a big trouble, right? And we want to help them to get there, right? And as a matter of fact, we can refer the top-notch car insurance companies' products, Allstate, Progressive, Travelers, and Safeco, right? And all these are very competitive. So by looking at these numbers, not necessarily you just collect numbers, you can give them a recommendation and say, hey, you could have saved like $300 over here, right? And childcare expenses, not school expenses, but childcare, right? After school activities, all that could be counted towards childcare, or nannies, right? I've come across some of the families that work really hard over time, and they spend $20 an hour to hire a babysitter, sitting their babies or their children from 3:30 to like 9 o'clock at the night, so 6 hours. And this person is only making $25 an hour, so basically he's overtime for nothing. Okay, so it's stupid. By listening to that, you feel like, oh my God, this guy is working his butt off for making $5 an hour. What's the point, right? Plus, you don't know these babysitters, what they're going to do with your children, right? Do they coach them at schoolwork or watch their food and diet, all that? You have no clue. So you basically subject your children to the harm's way by working overtime for somebody else's pockets. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so once you jot down these expenses, it will expose some really bad habit. Okay, a curse, almost like a curse to this family. Only because of what, my friend? Lack of a financial knowledge, lack of a financial basics. Okay, gift and entertainment. Don't get me started. Okay, this is where a lot of people don't even track it. So you ask them to track their credit card charges, you will find out they go to movies 3 times a week. Okay, it's like almost impossible, but 3 weeks a month, that's still a lot, because each time is what? If there's 4 family members, that's almost $200, right? I mean, not $200, but $15, for tickets, and then they get popcorns and everything. So easily, that's almost $100 each time. Okay, so that's a lot of money to spend on the giftings and entertainment, all that stuff. Food is a big chunk too. On average, okay, I'm just giving you on average, every 2 weeks should be around about $200, okay, for a 4 family member household, okay, $200. So every month about $500. That's already a lot, okay. If it's more than that, they go to steak houses, they go to salad places all the time, then there's a problem. Utility is going up in the winter, of course, or summer, but utility shouldn't exceed like 3-digit. All right. So if some house is only 2,000 square footage, but the utility is over $300, then something is wrong. Okay. Gas and the maintenance, that's for the car. So basically, most of the people work within like 20 miles radius from their work. That's the worst case. 20 miles, that's less than a gallon. So every day it's about a gallon's worth of a gasoline, right? So you can calculate that's 20 days. So 20 days, that's 20 gallons, right? That's $60, right? You can do that calculation, $60 to like $80 for gasoline. That makes sense. Maintenance shouldn't exceed like $100 a month. That's crazy, right? What kind of car do you drive? Like, like a Martian, like roller? No, even the most expensive but imported luxury car, it wouldn't cost you $100 a month for maintenance. Okay, Tesla actually doesn't cost anything for maintenance. So personal vacations, you'll be shocked once you go through this part. Most of the people actually plan for a cruise ship at the end of the year, a big holiday celebration and birthday celebration, kids' birthday celebrations. They put aside $4,000 or $5,000 a year just for that, right? And for cruise ship, they actually put away like $10,000 for that. Of course, they don't put away; they put on the credit card. That's where the problem is. So once you get this monthly expense all run up, usually the client or the property owners would drop their jaw. They said, "Oh my God, I didn't know we spent this money." And so because of the habit of never collecting the data, so they are over expending. This is where most of them will say, "Well, I only make this much." Then they say, "Okay, hold on, let me go back here and then let's fill out your income, right? How much income you have." This is where they open up. They want to tell you how much they make. Okay. Now this portion is going to be like a knife in the heart, stabbing feeling. Okay. Mortgage, usually they are very honest. They tell you the balance. If they do tell you all these numbers, then they keep tracking of it. Okay, which is good news. But for those people, they just say, "I don't know." Okay, if you really trust them, they basically don't track the numbers. Okay, that's usually what happens. And then the car loans, I don't know, right? Maybe $500. And usually the couples will start arguing. Okay, so they have a really poor habit of tracking expenses. All right, make sense so far? Okay. Now, emergency fund. Emergency fund is usually where you put it in the checking account, saving account, or even some trading accounts. The money is basically emergency fund. So the principle is 3 to 6 months of income or expenses, right? So you already know their expenses. You time 3, that's the minimum of emergency fund they should put away. Okay. Insurance money is emergency fund as well. 401k is not emergency fund. Okay, 401k money or IRA money is not, because you have penalties, right? Protection plan, car insurance, life insurance, right? Health insurance. Check them off so they know where the loopholes are, and ask them how much are you paying. Do you have a life insurance? Or if you don't, then when you borrow the mortgage, you actually get you don't get a premium rates, right? Do you have a permanent life insurance? Usually people do, and they already stopped paying it. Okay, their parents started and they stopped paying it. So that tells you all bad habits. Okay, and then their cash flow is really in big trouble. The next part is basically long-term accumulations for kids to go to college, sponsorship for their weddings, all that. You will be surprised. Their expenses is more than their income. However, they are putting away $200 every month to save up for their kids' weddings or college, which is like doesn't make any sense, right? You should pay off your debt first before you start saving for your children, right? Some of them get brainwashed to even put money in the 529, which makes sense, but it doesn't make any sense when somebody is owing a lot of debt. You know what I'm saying? All right. So another part is the retirement funding. Okay, this is where you get to know if this person is thinking long term or short term. Fill out the numbers. Okay, usually it's very straightforward. Some of them probably they even have no idea about. For real estate brokers or real estate wholesalers, do you know they can put away money as much as of $60,000 a year into a self-funded, retirement fund called a SEP? A lot of people don't know about it, and that's also a tax deduction. Okay, it's still your money, but you can put that away to save tax. Okay, Roth IRA, there's a limitation. Annuities and the VUL, all that are part of your retirement planning. Okay. I highly suggest people, to put away some of the money to reduce tax. And I even have a Excel spreadsheet. I did that for my family, right? If I save money into retirement plan, do I reduce my cash flow or increase my cash flow? Surprisingly, increase my cash flow. Okay. I want you to actually be aware of that. Now, the next part is the most interesting part. We're talking about asset. Is it a tax never or tax later or tax now? Most of the people have a little bitty in tax later, a whole lot in tax now. Okay, especially in the real estate world, a lot of people put the cash aside just in case there's a property popping up, right? Do you know you can do exactly the same thing with the tax later money, right? Not to put it into the tax now, and you can take the tax later money and put it into real estate properties. Some people know that. Okay. They can put into the land trust or some of the products in the future I'm going to talk about. Okay. So once you fill this out, you pretty much get a good landscape of a view of this family's healthiness. Do they have a solid foundation? Or they're lacking a foundation? They only got a bunch of stuff, so-called investment properties, and they have a luxury life. So basically a mushroom shape of financial asset allocation. That's very unhealthy because the skyscraper can collapse at any time, right? And after that, this is a great chart. And this is I borrowed from the Invesco, is a financial company. They have this tool available because I have a license, so I basically use their tool. This is where there are 6 pockets of money you need to plan for. Okay, starting from an investment, like on the top of the cake chart, to estate planning, right? That's long term, and retirement planning. That's also long term. And then insurance, that's something called wealth transfer, okay? And also tax savings. And then the debt management, that's important. And then assistance to the loved ones. So for that, next week, actually, I plan to talk about a very serious and important topic, which is long-term care, okay? Especially when the interest rate is reducing now, is the best time to get that prepared. All right. And so I really would like to talk about that topic. So invite some people over. Okay. They will benefit from you and benefit from us. So for instance, if you got those property owners that you are maintaining a relationship, invite them. Invite them to this part of the presentation. Give them a financial educations and they will appreciate you. The relationship is strengthened. Or if you don't feel comfortable or they don't feel comfortable, give my numbers to them. Okay. And then I can talk to them. And my goal is to build a relationship between you and them, right? And hopefully close a deal to benefit them and benefit you tremendously. Okay. So now this is the chart I talked about 2 weeks ago about cash flows, asset, and net worth. This is big. For those who are aspired to get rich and then leave a good legacy to their generations to come, I highly suggest they learn how to do the net worth calculations, okay, which is not a conventional way. All right. So with that said, this is the tool. All right. If you need this tool, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to share this with y'all. Okay. And my phone number is 817-458-8988. I'm typing in the chat. And again, we're all in a one study group, okay? And basically my coachings or whatever is all free, okay? You don't have to worry about paying me because, one way or the other, we're gonna make money together, right? Okay, Steve, back to you.
Thank you, John. I really love this because, it's a tool we can use for assessing our own financial health. And we can also use it to assess, obviously, the folks that have financial distress and they really need it.
Yeah.
And I would say, maybe even selfishly, is we gotta know how to help ourselves as well before we help others. So just if we haven't done it before, just kind of doing that and having clarity on our finances, I think that's just so crucial.
Yeah, all right. To that point, Steve, if I may, to that point, do you know most of the people that got wealthy, not just through all the business transactions, through philanthropy by helping others, and then somehow the blessing just coming in tenfold to them, right? And even when we are not making deals, once you build a relationship, they will refer you to some deals. And this is where you don't have the access, but these people have access, okay? And by all means, we're not using these people. We're helping these people so they feel attached to us. They want to refer deals to us, and they even become a student to our system, right? This is how we grow bigger and larger. And I've never seen a one billionaire not helping people to build their own wealth by just making deals, okay? And plus, we need to help ourselves, to your point earlier. Helping ourselves, just like in the airplane, right? In times of emergency, put air masks onto yourself first before you help someone next to you. Otherwise, both of you pass out. Okay, so this is important, right?
Yeah, and I kind of, so in the past few minutes I was talking to the lead in Fort Worth, and yesterday on the phone he was sounding, his energy I noticed was a little bit lower. But today, because he talked to the bank and he got a little progress, I go, hey, you sound a little bit better today. How do you feel today? And he's like, yeah, I feel better. I see hope. So that was very nice to hear.
And by the way, I am a ordained pastor, just so you know, wear many hats. But if you feel this family could spiritually use some help, I don't mind to drive 50 miles, go over there and anoint them with anointing oils and give them blessings, right? And you also want your deals to be blessed as well. So I can go to the house, actually anoint the house and bless them. If you believe that, I truly believe that, being a pastor so many years. But this is something. Feel free. It's just one call away. All right. Just let me know. I'll go over there and bless them. Right, Steve?
Thank you, John. And thank you for sharing a number. All right. So these are upcoming events. I'm sure you all have looked at that and kind of marked your calendar. And as with all our final slides, start taking action and start your journey. And best of luck and happy investing. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
See you later, Tamara, everybody. God bless.
Thank you, everybody. Cheers.